What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Piscine Predator, and I'm back with that TPP True Crime Talk. Happy Monday to you all. But before we jump into it, could you smash that like? If you haven't already, can you smash that subscribe? And if you're feeling generous, smash that share and put it out there. All right, let's jump into it. Topic for the video is that minister murder trial, right? The defendant had a chance to get up today and say his piece, and he didn't. He didn't. I didn't think he was going to, honestly. The way he looks, I don't think he wouldn't have fared too well on the stand, in my opinion. So that didn't really surprise me that he didn't take the stand, And then obviously defense, their closing, prosecution did their closing. Defense did a very good job of doing the whole rundown on all the facts of the case, and especially the facts that showed that the investigation was like pretty much skewed towards the defendant being the guilty person, right? And granted, I think he is guilty. That aside, doesn't matter when you don't do the full investigation. Like when you don't do the cell phone tracking, when you don't, test the gunshot residue kits. There's so many things they did not do, because the moment that they went in, they're like, oh, he had to have done it. It has to be him. To the point where then the investigator basically said to the lab tech, like, you connected to him. Don't worry about getting any deeper in this. Don't worry about any more investigation to it. Once you can conclude that he had the gun, that his fingerprints were on the gun, that we can link him to this, like, that's it. We're done. So the defense did an amazing job at breaking all that down in the closing. I was pretty impressed. It's like, to realistically look at it, I mean, usually your rational critical thinking, I mean, it's pretty clear that he did it, at least in my opinion. But the investigation, like the fact that they didn't cover all these bases. I mean, when I say they didn't check the cell phone, right? They didn't check the defendant's cell phone to see if he was actually at that location the whole time, which makes no sense to me. Like, if they would have did that in that part of the investigation, and shown that he never left that house, then there's no argument. There's no argument. Even we'll throw out the not testing the GSR kit. Like, there's no argument if they would have like did their due diligence and investigated and got into that phone and just proved, like, hey, look, he never left the house. Now there's some doubt, right? Obviously there's doubt, because it's like, we can't prove that he was at the house in that time frame. We can't, the evidence on at least the gun ballistics was inconclusive, even though it came back as the same type of ammunition he had, and it came from the same caliber gun he had, but it was inconclusive on the marks on the bullet, right? The only thing that kind of came back on that is the fact that that bullet is the same type of bullet that comes from a case of bullets that he owns, the defendant owns. And then the other thing that's crazy about the gun situation is the fact that the victim was shot once, right? From the back, like execution style. He was shot once. But here's the crazy part is that, and you don't see this, I probably hardly see this, is the fact that if that gun was used, if the defendant's gun was actually used, he shot the victim, right? And then, because semi-auto, right? So it shoots, it's going to chamber around, right? So after it was shot and that round was chambered, the mag was dropped out of the the magazine, the thing that holds the bullets. It was loaded back to capacity, 15 rounds, and then put back in the gun. So one in the chamber with a full clip. I haven't heard that in a murder like this. Like, I've never. I mean, it's probably happened, I think, maybe, but like, that's weird, dude. That is really strange, really, really strange. So they laid all that out really well. Defense also laid out the fact that, like, the victim had actually brought at least one person that they know of over to that house while he was painting, to show them, what he was doing and whatnot. So that shows at least, a little bit of doubt in the fact that there could have been somebody else with him that day when he came over. I mean, it's questionable, right? So the defense did an amazing job with that. But then, you know, prosecution, they did a good job at like, just like I said, it's like rationally looking at the things that we do know, you know, as far as like the defendant's personality, his struggles he's having, some of the issues he's having with the church. Um, you know, lay that out pretty decent to where it was like rationally, critically thinking. It's pretty safe to say that the defendant probably did it, but we can't work on probablys, right? So the prosecution, you know, they did their best, right? They were handed a case that I would be pretty pissed about. Like, you're gonna hand me a case where LE and the investigators did not do their full due diligence on the investigation and created this much doubt that I gotta fight against to get this guy prosecuted. I would be pissed as a prosecution, in my opinion. But so, you know, I feel like both sides did the best with what they had. You know what I mean? And there ain't much more to be said about that. So closings have been done. We're in verdict watch now. And obviously, the moment we get the verdict back, I'll be jumping back up here and letting you guys know. Hopefully, it comes back before I got to go hit second shift, so that I can make that, you know, so I can jump up there and everything. Outside of that, what else do I want to tell you guys? Got my new computer monitor and camera. Got my new headphones. Got everything set up. I'm trying to figure out, you know, StreamYard and the nuances of everything to where I can get some lives going. I'll probably start shooting more of my videos out in the little setup I got out in the sauna room. But yeah, so that's coming. Other than that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. And I'll see you guys back whenever we get the verdict. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you think that he's guilty? Do you think that he's innocent? Do you think the jury is going to, you know, guilty, innocent, or is it going to be hung jury? Because I would not be surprised on this if it's a hung jury. I kind of feel like if that whole jury is going to be like, all right, you know, these are the facts, but, you know, rationally thinking, you know, speaking, he did it. So I'm thinking it's either going to be guilty or hung jury. That's my opinion. So we'll see. We'll see. But other than that, guys, I'll see you back after the verdict, you know, is read. And yeah, it's your boy, the Piscean Predator. And until the next video, I'm out, y'all. Much love. Peace.